Persistence. Why is persistence such an important key to success? When you think of achieving your goals and having the outcome you desire, why is persistence so important? And in what way is it a secret to manifesting your goals? Being persistent. Persistence is described in the dictionary as firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. It is perseverance. It's tenacity to stick to a course and find your way to reach your goals. And today, we're going to find out different shades of persistency that will surprise you in what truly is the secret of success and achieving your goals. Thank you for being here. This is Imagination Coach Robert Meade with the Power of Imagination, continuing our focus on the book, The Power of Awareness. If you've been finding value in this series, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and I would love to see you comment. All of those things will help us to be able to spread this message to as many as possible in helping to expand their awareness and their success. The Power of Awareness, written by master, teacher, and mystic Neville Goddard in 1952. This is part of a series that I've been doing for several weeks now to expand your awareness and understanding of this book. Today's subject, persistence, is extremely important, as you'll find, and there's aspects of it that make it the secret that can unfold and be utilized in your life for success. Let's get into it. Chapter 22, Persistence. And he said unto them, Which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight, and say unto him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine in his journey is come to me, and I have nothing set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, Trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him because he is a friend, yet because of his importunity he will rise and give him as many as he needeth. And I say unto you, Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. So let's simplify it. Imagine this scenario. It's midnight, going past midnight. You're a family, you're in bed, your children are finally sleeping, and your neighbor knocks on your door. He's a friend, but he knocks on your door at midnight and says, Can I have 3 loaves of bread? I have a visitor, and I don't have anything to set before him. I have no food for him. Can I have 3 loaves of bread? Well, his response was, No, I can't help you right now. My children are in bed. We're sleeping. It's not convenient. I'm not going to be able to help you out. So does he give up? No, he's persistent. And it explains here, he says, though this guy in his house with his children is not going to get out of bed to give him bread simply because he's a friend, yet because of his importunity, and we're going to take a look at that word. Importunate means going to the point of annoyance or intrusion or causing an inconvenience, being unreasonable even. So because of his bold persistence, it says his neighbor would give him as many loaves of bread that he needed just to get rid of him, just to get him out of his off of his door. And therefore, the admonition here fits very well. And most of us are familiar with these terms. To keep on asking, keep on seeking, keep on knocking, and it shall be open to you because of such bold persistence. Let's now take a closer look to give you the depth of meaning of this parable that's not just about a man seeking bread, but what does it truly mean for you, dear reader, and how you can apply this as part of this secret of persistence. Notice the explanation. There are 3 principal characters in this quotation. You and the two friends mentioned. The first friend is a desired state of consciousness. The second friend is a desire seeking fulfillment. 3 is the symbol of wholeness, completion. Loaves symbolize substance. The door shut symbolizes the senses which separate the seen from the unseen. Children in bed means ideas that are dormant. Inability to rise means a desired state of consciousness cannot rise to you. You must rise to it. Again, simply put, we each have a goal we want to achieve, right? You have goals, you have a desire, you have something you want to achieve in your life, perhaps monetarily, perhaps health-wise, perhaps it's a grander career, more money, whatever you're seeking, whatever your goal is. It's not simply going to come to you because you want it. We have to rise to that higher level of achievement. We have to arise first to that state of consciousness because we become what we think about. And as we've established in my other explanations from the law of assumption and Neville Goddard, it's the law of assumption, assuming and believing consciously first, brings about our goal, unfolds what needs to happen in order for us to achieve our goal. So we have to rise up in consciousness, in our thinking, to that level of where our goal exists in the unseen and bring it into the seen, but first it starts in your head and heart. And that illustration of the man that continued knocking on his neighbor's door and asking for help until he got it is the type of attitude, the type of really the feeling of the persistency that we need to have. How bad do you desire it? How much do you want to achieve your goal? It has to be one of a level of intensity. As we continue, importunity means demanding persistency, a kind of brazen impudence. Ask, seek, and knock means assuming the consciousness of already having what you desire. So this is a type of persistency that both yourself and those around you realize you're focused, you are determined, you know exactly what you want, and you are going after it. First, by believing it. First, by making it subconsciously and consciously so deep and so firm that you are determined. In fact, more fun words here. He says, a kind of brazen impudence. Okay, so what is brazen impudence? I love this expansion of vocabulary. To be brazen, of course, is to be shamefully or disrespectfully bold. Impudence is insolence, irreverence, impoliteness. Now, these are terms that normally we don't think highly of. If a child is that way with his parent, right? Or to someone in a higher position, disrespect is not acceptable. But what we're talking about here is an attitude of intensity, of focus of what we want. And more importantly, as we understand from the law of assumption, it is the consciousness of already having what you desire, even though it's unseen, even though you're still knocking, seeking, and trying to open that door, right? It has not revealed itself to you, but in your mind, it's already yours. This is why so many fail, because they're not persistent. They run into a roadblock and give up. They have a challenge and they say, well, it wasn't meant to be. And they go back to their mundane life. No, not you. Not you who are brazenly impudent. Not you who are focused and determined. And you bring that intensity into your faith and belief through all of the methods you'll find in my other videos concerning how to apply the law of assumption and how to convince yourself on a subconscious level to rise yourself consciously to believing that it's already yours. So please see those. Neville continues, thus, the scriptures tell you that you must persist in rising to, assuming the consciousness of your wish already being fulfilled. The promise is definite that if you are shameless in your impudence, in assuming that you already have that which your senses deny, it should be given unto you. Your desire shall be attained. So we have a lot more coming for you in this video, friends. A lot more shades of meaning on what the secret aspects are of persistence as we continue. The Bible teaches the necessity of persistence by the use of many stories. When Jacob sought a blessing from the angel with whom he wrestled, he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. When the Shunammite sought the help of Elisha, she said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he rose and he followed her. The same idea concerning persistency is expressed in another passage. And he spake a parable unto them that men ought always to pray, not to faint, saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in the city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while. But after he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because of this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest she weary me by her continual coming. And here's the point now made by Neville Goddard. Listen closely, friends. The basic truth underlying each of these stories is that desire springs from the awareness of ultimate attainment. Let me read that again. Desire springs from the awareness of what? Ultimate attainment. In other words, you know it's yours. You know you're going to get it. You have become that confident and that consciously aware that it is yours, that you know ultimately it's going to be yours. Again, now let's complete that paragraph. The basic truth underlying each of these stories is that desire springs from the awareness of ultimate attainment, and that persistence in maintaining the consciousness of the desire already being fulfilled results in its fulfillment. How can we become persistent in maintaining the consciousness of believing it's already ours? That's often the challenge for my students and clients and those seeking to apply the law of assumption, that not giving up easily and maintaining that feeling and belief throughout the day and into their sleep. So how do we do that? And that's what the rest of this study is going to be about. So stay tuned. Neville continues, it is not enough to feel yourself into the state of the answered prayer. You must persist in that state. That is the reason for the injunction. Man ought always to pray and not to faint. Now, I want you to really understand this. So take a moment and see what he means by prayer. It's not particularly religious, is what we're talking about here. He explains it this way. Here, to pray means to give thanks for already having what you desire. So you're giving thanks for having it. You're not begging for it or asking for it in that sense. You're thanking God or the universe, the powers within, for already having it. You're thanking them for what you already have, even though at the moment it might still be not seen by you. It may not have manifested yet in your life, but you know it's yours. And so you're giving thanks for it as if it's already yours. Continuing the explanation, notice what he says here. Only persistency in the assumption of the wish fulfilled can cause those subtle changes in your mind, which result in the desired change in your life. It matters not whether they be angels, Elisha, or reluctant judges, those parables that we spoke about earlier. All must respond in harmony with your persistent assumption. When it appears that people other than yourself in your world do not act toward you as you would like, it's not due to a reluctance on their part, but a lack of persistence in your assumption of your life already being as you want it to be. That is such a very interesting point, friends, is that when others don't respond to us the way we want to, we immediately blame them, their attitude. They don't like me. They don't see they don't respect me. They don't see my qualities. They don't see my value. Rather than turning inward and understanding, it's us not believing that we are that person that causes it. It starts with what we assume about ourselves, our own self-concept, and being persistent in assuming ourselves as that way and our life as already being what we want it to be. So there is where we need to focus, not in blaming others. Now here comes what I feel is the most important aspect of persistency, the key secret of persistency that makes it work for us. Notice, your assumption to be effective cannot be a single isolated act. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. Not a single act, not once a day, meditating for a few minutes or even an hour and saying, okay, I've got it in mind now, I'll take it with me to work. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. Well, we're busy all day. We can't meditate all day. We've got all these activities, pressures, duties that we need to take care of during the day. How do we have a maintained attitude? Listen closely. First about the importance of it, and then the explanation of how. Your assumption to be effective, ready? Cannot be a single act. Cannot be a single isolated act. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. And we've spoken about this before. It must be a mood, an attitude that we carry with us throughout the day. We're going to learn more about how in just a moment, but understand this as Neville continues. And that maintained attitude that gets you there, so that you think from your wish fulfilled instead of thinking about your wish fulfilled, is aided by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled frequently. It's the frequency. That's the point that I was looking forward to sharing with you, is that it's the frequently, how often that we do this throughout the day. How can we do it more often is the question. If you have a notebook, here are some practical suggestions. Ready? Pause and get your notebook if you need to. Here are 5 practical suggestions. Number 1, have set specific times that eventually become habit for you to meditate in the morning and in the evening, before and after your full day of activity. You also want to write out on an index card, small enough to fit in your pocket or your handbook or your pocketbook, You want to write out on an index card your goal and carry it in your pocket and look at it frequently throughout the day. Whenever you think about it, you have a minute, pull it out of your pocket and reread it. Next, you want to have a set time or plan to meditate when you're going to meditate. So what time in the morning do you meditate? And remember, it's always best to do this before you touch your cell phone, before you get into social media or anything else to distract you. Focus on rereading and meditating on your goal first thing in the morning. And of course, last thing before you go to sleep at night. Number 4, buy and bring a powerful book to work. If you have that circumstance where you can actually bring a book and read it during your breaks or on your lunch break. You can find all of Neville's books and his lectures online, also on Kindle, and of course, purchased on Amazon. All of his books and lectures can be found right on your phone, and you can read and listen to those lectures when you have the opportunity, even more than once per day. That will keep you on track. That's part of the frequency. Now, number 5, realize that it's not the lengthy sessions, but the brief sessions done often that work as reminders to your conscious and subconscious throughout the day that will keep you on track. That's what Neville now emphasizes in our conclusion. It is the frequency, not the length of time, that makes it natural. That to which you constantly return constitutes your truest self. Frequent occupancy of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of success. And there it is. Kept it right till the end of the reading. That actually the secret of persistency lies in doing this frequently. And it becomes a natural part of you because it's what you always go back to. It's what you constantly return to, no matter what distractions you have throughout the day. And this is really the secret, friends, to being persistent. I hope this has helped you, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the coming days. Thanks again, and if you enjoy this, please click on the links above for more on how you can apply the law of assumption for success in your life.